Hello there, hi, this is Julie Wrathall and Cindy Porter. We're coming to you live with the Bloomz artists. So we're a group of 11 artists and we are going to be holding an exhibition later this month. So what we are doing is a series of just kind of interviewing each other, just so you can find out a little bit more about our work and what we do. So today we've got Cindy and myself. So I'll kick off with introducing Cindy, I think. And Cindy, do you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do?
Hi. I paint. I paint in either acrylic or watercolor, and I paint animals, I guess, is the best way to tell you what I do. Very briefly.
A couple of very bright, shiny examples behind you.
Sorry?
Got a couple of very bright and shiny examples behind you.
I do. I have, oh, look, this is back to front, isn't it? That's Petunia. That's Petunia, my lovely pink koala. And that one is Jumping Jack, my tealy blue. He's a little bit more teal in real life than he shows on the screen. My tealy blue kangaroo. Yes, I do like to paint in bright colours rather than a la natural, but I do both. So yeah.
So a little clue so I'm based in the UK, but the Bloomz artists, we actually we're artists from all over the globe. So whereabouts are you based? I think the paintings and the accent might give it away a little bit, but whereabouts exactly are you?
They're a big clue. I'm in Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne.
So, yeah, I have recently done several paintings of Aussie animal icons, as I call them, to show off my hometown.
Your hometown. Do you actually see them when you're out and about on your walks?
Kangaroos not so much. Koalas occasionally in the area where I am. Kangaroos I see more when I go and visit my brother, who only lives about half an hour away. He has a golf course across the road from his home, and they're always there. Always plenty of kangaroos to be seen there. So yeah.
Gorgeous. I know when I was traveling out there was so many. It was just amazing seeing them bouncing around. It's lovely. Yeah. Gorgeous. Perfect time to introduce. You have a couple of sorry, go on.
No, sorry, go. No.
Oh no, I was just going to say it's perfect time. So obviously I've been on a number of live streams with you and Zoom calls and things ever since we started working together and bringing this collection of artists together. And what I love, every single, without fail, there is always somebody who bombs your live streams. Tell us about them.
Yes, this is Henry. And Henry, without fail, will always come. He can hear me talking. When he hears me talking, he has to come and get in. So, yeah, Henry likes to come and photobomb every single time, and he's not quiet about it either, as we heard.
I don't think I've ever caught one of your live streams where Henry doesn't pop up. Or you've got two cats, I think, have you? Is it
I do, yeah. Cleopatra tends to be a little more quiet and only comes on rare occasions, unlike this chappie, hey, who comes all the time. Comes for a visit.
So yes, if you come and visit us at the Bloomz exhibition, you are highly likely to see Henry come and
yes, exactly. Very probable.
So before we get into before we get into your work a little bit more, should we just explain a little bit about what the Bloomz exhibition is, just for anybody that doesn't know? So what we held there's a group of, I think it's about 15 artists actually in all. I say there are 11, but I think there are 11 in this exhibition. I might stand corrected. But we're a group of artists. We've come together. All over the world. So we've got Canada, Italy, Australia, and the UK. So cover all kind of areas of the globe. Well, not all areas, but a lot of areas. But the way this exhibition works is all an online exhibition, and you come in via Zoom. You need to register for a ticket to get access for how to register, join us. There are 3 sessions. What remind me of the date, Cindy? Do you know off the top of your head? I think it's 29th and 30th.
UK.
I think it's
29th and 30th UK time.
Got UK time.
Because
and there are 3 sessions. So we've got 10 o'clock.
You've got the Friday night show at 7.
Yep, that's it.
Then
7,
10 a.m. Saturday and 7 p.m. Saturday. That's UK times, which translates to 6 a.m. Saturday for us Aussies. I think it's 9 p.m. Saturday and then 6 a.m. Sunday for us Aussies. So it's actually the 30th and the 31st for us Aussies here in Oz. So, yeah.
You're always spot on the timings. I never try and translate the other way around.
I have to, because I've got to let everybody over here know.
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening. Sammy has jumped on and said hi. Hi, Sammy. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Sammy. And Henry, too. It's really... Yeah, exactly. He'll be at the event, I'm sure. Oh, brilliant! They've just put the times and the dates on there, so and all the links to everything we're talking about will be below as well, so you can access that below this video. But the way it works, you kind of come in. Sorry, go on, Cindy. I was
going to say to everybody to just remember that you do need to register for a ticket, because that's how you get the link for the Zoom to actually join us on the day. It doesn't cost you anything, but you need to register so that we can send you that link. So that's important for people to realize that. So, yeah. Sorry, off you go, Julie.
Exactly. No, I was just going to explain. I think as well, when people, the only way that I ever understood Zoom was that everybody's all on a big screen at the same time. But our exhibition is actually very different to that. So, yeah. Do you want to explain? I'll let you do the talking on that one. I feel like I've been talking too much.
Okay.
I'll explain how it works?
I'll try. How we do the art show. We have each of the artists in their own studio in their homes, and each of those is in a little separate room on Zoom. So when you get the link, you'll come into a main staging area, and our wonderful, what would we call him, host for the evening, Steve? Yes, absolutely. He will guide you to a room that explains how to get around, and basically you go into each individual room with a different artist. So if you're not interested in visiting us all, but we hope you are, but if you're not, you don't have to see everybody. And you just get to go in and out of each different artist's studio, like as if you're walking in and out of their physical studio in real life, except you're visiting all these different places around the world on the evening. So,
exactly. Yeah. It's cool.
I
loved it. So we've run one of these before back in September, and then we've got this one at the end of January, another one in June. But as an artist sitting in, you could tell who's in which rooms and which artists have kind of got a big group of people, and there are, it's like going to an exhibition. Sometimes there's a big huddle over here and you can kind of see them moving around the room, and sometimes you're in the room on your own waiting for someone to come in. You can go in and chat to the artists, or you can equally just say, just looking, that's fine. You don't have to get involved in the conversation if you don't want to. But I loved it at the last one. It was your evening time, so it was morning for us in the UK. It was your evening, and you had a great big group of Aussies all partying in your room until almost the very end. I remember that very clearly.
I did. It was awesome. I got some fabulous support from lots of Aussies, which was, really, really good, because most of the shows, show times for us over here are a bit not so friendly times, shall we say, because like the last one of the times was 4 a.m. Here in Australia. So all the Aussies were off sleeping. So yeah, the one show that was at a really good time for us, yeah, all the Aussies turned up, and we did have a bit of a party in my room. It was a lot of fun.
It was like a party at Cindy's place. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh dear. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Hi again.
So let's dive into your work a little bit. Sorry. Oh, here he is again. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's dive into your work a little bit more. Can you tell us a little bit more about your work? I mean, one of the things I was looking through your website and your Instagram page, actually, and that's a really great place to see it because it is literally so much work on there. And what struck me was it was really, really colourful. Although sometimes you do seem to paint very realistically in terms of the animals' realistic colours. Equally, so many of them are just beautiful. So can you sort of tell us a little bit more about what drives you with that?
Color makes me happy, I guess is probably a good way to say it. So I do love painting in color. It just comes to me. I just get the urge to paint a pink koala or a tealy blue kangaroo. It just makes me happy. But I do paint in natural color as well, and have done lots in natural color, but I get a lot more joy out of painting.
Can you hold it across a bit more? Your name's in the way. Move across a little bit more, just a bit closer to the screen. Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
That way. There we go.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah,
God, it's amazing.
So I can do both, but I get a lot more joy. Makes me smile more painting with color.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tend to paint a lot more in color now than a la natural. But I still get asked to do commissions and everything, and a lot of those they tend to want like a picture copy of the animal or stuff like that. But I am getting a couple more now. Happy for me to paint their dog in whatever colors I see, like in my imagination. So that's been exciting to have that opportunity. So that's been fun. But yeah.
Excellent. I love it. Sammy's saying it's fabulous, and your work makes her smile too.
Thank you, Sammy. Cool. That's my thing. Make everybody happy, bring joy.
Sammy's one of our artists that will be exhibiting as well. So
yes.
But you have a particular affinity to tigers as well, don't you? Tell us about that.
I have. Sorry.
You've got a particular passion for tigers, part of your logo. And
I do. So, firstly, my logo. I've got to go that side, don't I?
Love it.
Good with the light, but anyway, this is the painting that has become my logo. Although I have digitally added paintbrushes to the hat on my logo. Very symbolic for me. I used to wear this particular hat myself all the time before I lost a bit of weight, because now it doesn't fit me so good, so I have to get a new hat. It shows my love of tigers, my love of my cowboy hat, and my blue butterfly, which is the symbol that is for my mum, who has passed. So, yeah, it symbolized everything, pretty much sums me up, that one. So, yeah, it became my logo that I use all the time now. But I just have a complete and utter passion for tigers, right down to, this is my one-off. I have several of these. My paintbrush holders are on my desk, We were discussing this earlier, and I freaked you out because, even here, wearing our COVID masks, I have my tiger face. Anything tigers that I can get my hands on, I'm going to have it, pretty much. So, yeah, tigers are a big passion. Absolutely. Always lots of tiger pictures around. I don't know how many paintings I've done of tigers. It's a crazy number, but that's okay.
I like it. I like it. It makes sense on the tigers now, though, because I'd also noticed you often use a lot of orange, and I was like, what's the orange thing? But now I've got the tigers connection, and yes,
yeah,
that all makes
orange
sense.
and black, my two favorite colors. So, yep.
Because I noticed on your Instagram you've got a hashtag.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't know how you pronounce it. A scrappy tiger, or something.
Scrappy tiger is how we pronounce it.
Yeah,
that has come from my combination of things in the past. For over 10 years, I actually ran a retail store, which was art and craft based, scrapbooking and art supplies and things. And that was called Scrap Angels Heaven. Very successful store for 10 years. I ran it. Very hard work, 7 days a week. Oh, my goodness. But when...
kind of place, it would just be lovely mooching around, and yeah, sounds just up my street.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, but when I closed that down, I kept some parts of the business going, and the teaching that I was doing was one of those. But I decided that I needed some sort of name that I was happy with for me, that sort of still encompassed part of that business, so people could easily find me as such.
Okay, yeah.
So the scrappy part came from that, and the tiger, of course, because of my love of tigers. So, yeah, that's how that came about, and sort of still here today because of
I was
that.
looking at the hashtag thinking, is there a breed of tiger that I'm unaware of? I was just like, no, it's only relative to Cindy, so let's find out what it's
only relevant to me.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's good to hear. And I didn't know that you had a retail shop for 10 years, so, through these things, you just find out. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's where I learned so much about products and everything. Like, I have a very extensive knowledge of art product and all of that sort of thing from that experience. And
I love it, because one of the things we do as a artist collective is we get together and talk quite regularly, and share ideas and what we're working on, and obviously these exhibitions give us a really good focus as well. But anytime anybody's got a question about a particular material art-wise, Cindy pops up with try this or do you've got such an extensive knowledge of all things art supplies. It's great, like having art. So between all of us, it works really nicely.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that 10 years running my store, it certainly taught me a lot about a lot of things, and I've actually done a lot of work over the years now, for even after the store, for different manufacturers, like art supply manufacturers and stuff like that. Being product educator for a couple and things like that. So, yeah, I know a lot about a lot of products. So I've always shared that knowledge.
Perfect. I'm sharing all of that in through your paintings as well.
Yeah.
Hello, Eliza. Eliza's jumped on too now. So.
Yep. Hello.
So, but I mean, this is the great thing about having these conversations like this, though, and this is exactly what you'll find it's like when you come and visit us at this Bloomz exhibition, because you will literally be sitting with Cindy, as she is now, asking her your questions in the same way that I am. And actually, this is almost a very similar format to the room once you're inside, I will actually be doing mine from this room. This is my office at home, because I don't have good internet at my studio. Plus, I don't want to be up there at 10 o'clock at night on a January. We went on till quite late last time. So at least I'm at home doing that. But again, same thing. You'll just come in and you get this opportunity to ask your questions and find out all of these things. So
it is, and it is exactly like this. And I will be in this room. This is my studio room. There we got Maria's just said hi too. Hello, Maria.
Hello. Hiya.
And yeah, so it will be exactly like Julie and I are now. If you join us for the show, you will be on the screen like this, and we will be chatting away just like this with all of you. So yeah,
Eliza, you're complimentary, even the colours of your clothes. I'm matching today. Yeah, we had a private conversation beforehand, made sure we matched up perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's good like that.
Shall I move on and start asking you some questions, or do you have any more to ask me?
No, well, it's your tiger thing that I really wanted to get to, and the colours that you were using. So yeah, and it's just nice just having kind of a general conversation and finding out.
Never know where the conversation's going to end up, do we?
That's the trouble.
So, okay, I'm going to start asking you some questions. Okay.
Alrighty.
So, now, you are an encaustic artist, and I get tongue-tied on the word every single time, so please forgive me. Would you like to tell everybody what that is? Because most people would have no idea.
No, of all the mediums to choose to fall in love with, I chose the most difficult one to explain for sure. So encaustic. Encaustic is, I find it a really misleading word. Literally, all encaustic means, it means to burn. It comes from the Greek word to burn.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's the root origin of the word. So I paint, my medium is encaustic wax. Yeah. It's got the history and the everything about wax has just got so many layers of depth to it. It's amazing. But yeah, so I paint with wax, hot wax. So people think the wax is encaustic, but actually it's not. Wax is wax, but the process of heating makes it encaustic, hence encaustic wax. So people who paint with cold wax are not encaustic wax painting. If you're painting with cold wax, that is not encaustic. I've never seen this before, Cindy. You've got a look on your face, and you're saying you've got such an extensive knowledge.
Apparently, that is not in there. I did not realise that. You have. Exactly. Thank you. Now that's in you as well. So excellent. Okay. So why don't you explain to people how you actually paint with hot wax?
How I paint with it. So if I asked you, how do you cook?
Not well.
Loads of ways.
That's not true.
There are so many ways. People think there is literally just one way to paint with wax, and there aren't. There are so many ways. There's no one way. If you think about how you cook, you can. There are just so many different tools and utensils. So I switch between using heated hot plates. I have saucepans full of wax that I then paint on with a paintbrush. I use a hot air gun. I use a stylus. I use an iron. Actually, you can just see my iron sitting there on the table behind me. Yeah, poking away. So yeah, just so many different ways that you can. So as long as you can heat the wax, and there is a tool that I'm heating the wax with, then that is encaustic painting. So I'm heating the wax. And then people always ask how long it takes to dry, but actually there's no drying time. It's how long it takes to cool. So as the wax, you melt the wax and it goes hot and molten and runny. And then as it cools, it solidifies, and it will solidify into its final kind of resting place. And that's when, you can either go back in with it with more heat, keep manipulating, or, but once it's cool, that's it. It's done. So, and people always, the other question people always ask is how will it melt as well? And I was just going to say, people. Yeah. I'm actually just doing a frequently asked questions page because I keep getting these same questions coming up. Excuse me. Sorry, one sec.
Just get a drink of water there.
Got a sip of water before I start coughing. Yeah, it's a really high quality wax, and it often has. There are so many grades of wax, from soil wax, which has a really low melting point, and often what candles are made of at home. But the wax I use beeswax has got quite a high melting point anyway. But then the waxes that I use either have like carnauba wax, or there are different waxes that raise the melting point, or they actually have a tree resin added to them as well. So it's all natural product that I work with, but that raises the melting point even higher. So, you know, they're not going to, people think they're going to literally kind of, you know, hot day, melt down the wall. You shouldn't put them in direct sunlight, as you shouldn't with any art, really. But,
I was going to
but
say,
yeah,
you can put in artwork in direct sunlight. Yep.
Exactly. But no, any normal room condition, they're absolutely fine. They're not going to melt. So, yeah.
Yep. So. Excellent. I did know that, but I thought people should hear that from you. Okay, so you tend to work intuitively. Would you like to tell us about that, or how you go about doing your work?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, people often ask me how my work comes about, and I might start out with an idea in my mind of what I'm going to create, but actually for me it's the process, and I think it kind of fits in with that whole kind of fluid, the way the wax moves. I kind of make decisions on my paintings as I go through, you know, as I'm kind of progressing through them. So I tend to say it's quite an intuitive process, because sometimes I will set out with an absolute idea in my head that I'm going to paint a koala today, because that's what I'm looking at behind you. But you know, but often I don't, and I'm kind of halfway through, and then I'm just drawn to a particular color, and it's like, oh my god, that just works. That's brilliant, you know. And it's very often it's a very fluid process in the way that I'm kind of creating. So, and I love that, because it's always a bit of a surprise. You're never quite sure what's going to come out, and if it's not right, you just go over it again until you get something you do like. So, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Do you have some work there you could show us?
Yeah, well, what I'm going to do in this exhibition actually is I'm going to pull, because I find I show one aspect of my work and then people have got no concept of what else you can do with it. So what I'm actually going to do for this Bloomz exhibition at the end of January is I'm going to kind of do a bit of a journey of my encaustic journey, basically. So when I started out, I literally started off with my iron, with my kind of iron, which I've got wax blocks that I would just, I've got these ready beforehand. So I would literally kind of, you know, melt my wax blocks on.
Straight onto the iron?
Sorry?
You melt them straight onto the iron?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can do, or you can melt it in a pot and then paint it on with a brush. But so my early days, I was literally, I don't know if you can see these, but which way am I going? Yeah. So, you know, just on paper, but sort of quite abstract, just fun. But it's these lights that you get through. Yeah. For me, the light and the depth and the color is just incredible. So I kind of started off in my early days, and the process of it is just so, it just connects you completely right down, deep down inside. Yeah. So I kind of kicked off with these. It was all very abstract. And I just kept on, I was just like, I've got to understand it. I'm not satisfied not knowing how things work. I've got that, what's the word in me, that I just have to get down and understand how it works. So I then started kind of doing, I don't know if this one comes across terribly well, actually, more, that might be a little bit better. So I kind of started painting.
Like landscape.
Yeah,
sort of like landscape scene.
Yeah, that way, maybe better. Yep. But just started working out how I was creating the shapes that I was getting. So I kind of got, you know, really drilled down, because you get loads of happy accidents with this style of painting, and you can, you know, you'll often do a piece and it's like, oh, I love that, it's amazing. But actually no, and I've been running workshops for years, and people always say, I love that, I've got no idea what I did, but I love it. And, you know, that's the beauty of it. You can get that aspect, but I wasn't satisfied with I've no idea how I did it. I wanted to know how to, I mean, you'll never get two exactly the same, but I want to know how to recreate that. So that's what I'm going to bring in for this exhibition. So sort of the journey from this, and then this is one style that you paint on paper in a very single flat layer. But there's another style where you build up in layers and you can have mixed media. That's just this is the wax and resin style, and that is just, so I'm going to have like a few pieces from each. So I haven't got the example with me. I've got one with butterflies in, where I've incorporated a lot of nature in there. and then sort of through to portraiture. So this is actually a print of one that I had done. I don't generally do prints, but this is one exception. So this, I would say it's a print, but the original of this one was all painted with wax. So I will actually do portraits and kind of got a bit of an angel series where I do that as well. But again, you get those in these styles, you kind of get that same depth and light that comes out. They always kind of take on a luminosity about them there. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to bring to the Bloomz exhibition. And as I say, and it's a little bit like that question of how do you cook? It's like, well, you can put a pan on the stove and boil an egg, or you can make a souffle in the oven. You know, that all the different techniques work. You know, it's still an egg and it's still heat. So it's just what you do with it. So that's what I'm planning to bring to the Bloomz exhibition at the end of the month.
That sounds fabulous. No, that sounds fabulous. You're going to bring your whole journey through for everybody to see. That's amazing.
Yeah. And that's your reaction is exactly what I find. Most people, they just look at you and they go, "You paint with what?" And it's just that. Oh, I've been on this mission to share this stuff with and it's actually getting much more widely known in Europe now. It's quite well known in America, in Canada, much more widely. But it's definitely coming over to Europe. You know, more mainstream now. So yeah, that's part of that as well. So, but
that's fabulous.
Yeah. Share it with people.
Yeah, that's what we all want to do, isn't it? Share everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the beauties of the Bloomz and the whole ethos of us as a group of artists, making everything accessible as well. And it's not all about, I don't understand that, so I can't ask a question. It's literally like this, where you can, just meet the artists. And
I was going to say, we are like this. We are just people, just like everybody else. We're not some strange breed, although, well, that's debatable sometimes. But
one of two of us.
Absolutely. But, we just like to have a chat. We would just love you all to come along and have a chat with us and ask us any questions or learn more about what we do. And,
Absolutely. And there's no obligation, some people have bought and do buy during the exhibitions, but there's no obligation to either. You can just find out about people's work.
I was going to say that's not why we do it. That's not what it's about. We want to share what we create and show everybody everything. And if you love a piece, well, then of course you can purchase. But there's no pressure, no obligation, none of that. We're just there to talk to you about the art and show you our awesome creations that we get so much joy from sharing with everybody. So
but also, like, further down the line, you start talking to people and they say, "I'm really looking for a piece to go over my fireplace," and you're like, "Okay, I might not be in the market for a teal kangaroo today, but actually the person you're talking to in a month's time is desperate for that." And then you've just got this range of artists that have come together. We're approachable, and so there's, that comes in.
It does. That's so true.
Yeah. But no, I'm looking forward to it actually. Now that we've kind of got this,
it's really exciting now, isn't it?
Too rude. Got to get my finger out and get organized.
I have to finish a few more paintings that I've kept under wraps that I will be revealing at the show. Yeah. So I'm sort of Can't
so
wait.
quick look at the comments, and then there's some comments coming through that. Somebody saying we love to share our art, but not in a highbrow way. This is as highbrow as it gets.
This is as good as it gets.
The evening sessions might have a glass of something in hand as well. But yes.
What do you mean might? Definitely. And you have to remember that Aussie evening is quite different to UK evening. So,
If you come on at 10 a.m. and Cindy's drinking.
Anyway.
And a party going on in your room. But anyway, that sounds like a good way to wrap up, I think. So,
it does. I think we're probably getting a bit off.
We are. This is what they all go like. It's yes. But anyway, so one of the things to do is make sure you register for your tickets. You can find tickets at just go to the website The Bloomz, which is spelled the Bloomz, BLOOMZ, and it will all be in the comments below as well. .co.uk, isn't it? I think I'm pretty sure it's
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
You can register for your tickets there. You can see a little bit about all of us. You can get links to all of our websites. And then that's how you'll get the link. Sign up for our newsletter. So find out more about us. And allow at least a couple of hours. I think each session lasts for about 3 hours, doesn't it?
Yes,
but time can just soon fly by. So give yourself time to kind of go around and into the different rooms, and all you do is really simple: click in and out, and you enter a room and you leave a room. It's literally like walking through a shop door. So it's good. Sammy, put the link in the comments.
Thanks, Sammy, for putting that up. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so shall we wrap this up here? We're kind of
I think we probably should. Otherwise, we'll be chatting nonsense all night.
Nattering non-stop. I know. So let's wrap this up. But thank you so much. It's been really interesting finding out more about your work. And
you too, Julie.
Looking forward to the end of the month.
Wax. Damn, I didn't know that one.
You learned something new today.
I did learn something. I'm very excited about that. It doesn't happen that often nowadays. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay. I will see you all in our rooms on the weekend of the 29th and 30th